Hey, what's up YouTubers and RC family? We're going to be trying a new strategy. Well, basically it's a similar strategy to what I was doing before with the dealer tracker, where we're tracking the dealer's last 3 results and then doing a neighboring bet of 17 numbers. The only difference between what we're going to do on the last go and this one is we're going to be doing a reverse martingale system. So what that means is if we miss the bet, we're going to carry on with our standard betting amount. If we win the bet, we're going to double the amount. And if we win that, we're going to double the amount again. So let me explain a little bit more about what we're doing. So our starting bet in this example is going to be 0.5 units, okay? And what we need to do is get a 3 win streak using that. So basically it will be 50, in our case, 50 pence per bet. If we win, we're going to do £1 per bet. If we win that, we're going to do £2 per bet. And if we win that, we walk. Okay, but if we lose, we start back. So even if we're doing 50 pence per bet and we win that, we bet £1 per bet. If we lose, we just go back to our initial 50 pence per bet until we get a 3 win streak. Now, if we don't get that within 8 attempts, okay, so we need to get a 3 win streak. If we don't do it in 8 attempts, what we'll do is martingale up our initial bet. So instead of 50 pence per number, we'll move that up to £1 per number. Then if we win, we have to double that to £2. If we win that, we'll double that to £4. So the idea is we have to hit it within 8 attempts before we martingale. So we're going to get into that video, but before we do that, if you're not currently a member of Roulette Calculators, pause the video, click on the link in the description and set yourself up a free account so you can chat to myself and all of the other valued members on there. Also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification icon because I'm going to do some more live streams. And if you haven't hit that bell notification, you won't get updated and you might miss it. Live streams are always good if you want to ask any questions or you're not sure about what I'm doing. So let's get straight into this strategy. Okay, so you can see my balance is £258.60, which is where we left off from the previous video there. So we're going to head over to Roulette and we're going to select a table. So in this case we're going to Roulette Azure, which we typically use in quite a few other sessions. So we're just adjusting the screens now so it's easy to see. And all I'm going to do is start logging the dealer's information. And I've already got the calculator set up to track the last 15 spins in that particular direction. And of course, that's we're on a multi-direction table. If we're using a single direction, we would simply click on the standard dealer tracker. The dealer tracker one direction if we're using the single direction table. So if you're not familiar with my previous session when we did this, you should check that out. We did I think 8 videos starting from £20, building the balance up to 300 and odd. And the only time we bet is if we can cover the 3 numbers, 3 highlighted numbers that you see up here in one neighbouring bet of 17 numbers, which is a neighbour of 8, which we would set just up in that section there. So as you can see here, we're entering a few numbers in. I mean, it's looking fairly spread out for my liking. Typically, I like it when they're a lot closer together. And we're setting the neighbouring to 8 now. So we're just going to scan through, get a few bets on the go. And as I mentioned, our starting bet will be 50 pence per number. If we win, we increase that to £1 per number. And if we win that, we increase that to £2 per number. And the idea is to try and hit the 3 win streak within 8 attempts. Obviously, the further in to the attempts that you go, you take less profit. But I think 8 attempts, if you lost all 3, that would cost 68 units. And if we won that £2 bet, it will be 72 units. So obviously, you want to hit a bit further forward. You can see I've got the bet here because we've got number 24, 10 and 11. They're all nicely highlighted. So we're just betting on that sort of tier section. And we're just hoping that we hit that. That went to number 31, so that was a bit unlucky for us. We just missed that one. So this next one's not looking too good. So basically they're too far apart. Obviously you can see we've got number 2 and 0, they're close together, but number 14 is off a little bit, so we wouldn't put the bet on in this particular case. But I still want to see it land around that 0 area, 0 or just after, because that kind of gives me a bit more confidence that the table's doing better. And it did. It landed on number 32. It was a bit of a horrible spin though, the way it's bolting around the table like that. So we can cover this one. 7, 3, and number 2. They're all in the vicinity that I can cover with this neighbouring bet of 17 numbers. So again, we're just going back to our first particular strategy. First betting amount of 50 pence per number. So it always starts at the same initial bet unless you win the spin, then you double it, and if that wins you double it again, and if that wins you get out of there, you walk away. So we want to see this land around 0. That's sort of a general area, and that's pretty good for us, number 25, so that gives us our first win. So that's given us 18 units. So now what we're doing, we're actually doubling the bet, and the interesting thing about doing a reverse martingale is when you double the bet like that, we're putting on 17 units. So even if we lose, we're still making 1 unit profit doing this, okay? So you are gradually grabbing a bit of profit as long as you're getting a few winning hands before. The only time you really lose on this is if you're losing on the first bet every go. So in this one, you can see that went to number 28, which was a loss for us. But because we already won the first one, all we did is lose our initial betting stake of £8.50. So now we're starting from the beginning again, and we're just doing 50 pence per number. So we're covering that 0 section from 18 to 32 there. So what's gonna happen? Place your bets now. So this is a new concept I'm testing out for you guys. It was something that I thought about, seemed pretty good. So that went to 26. That was absolutely amazing, perfectly in our section there. Now this one's not looking too good, as you see. So we won the last one. Now we're waiting until we can place a bet on. We could actually cover from 20 to 6. If you have a look here, we could cover 1 past it either side, so we can cover from 14 to 34, but it's a little bit spread out for my liking. I'm not really that confident with it. However, I mean, that was my typical rule. If you can cover the 3 numbers, you should make the bet, but I do like to wait until they're a bit closer together. So yeah, it's your own preference really. And that went to number 27, so if I did make the bet then I would have won that one, so that would have been 2, but instead I've only won 1. So this would be our third bet, and this is looking brilliant. We've obviously got 23, 8 and 30, they're all grouped perfectly there. So what I'm doing is doing the £1 bet on that section now. So if you're not familiar with how this dealer tracker works, I've got a ton of videos on the channel. Just make sure you watch the dealer tracker. And also as a really good education thing with this particular strategy, check out the roulette strategy where I do 8 videos. You'll see it says part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that will give you an idea. Now the table froze, but the win did come in. It went to number 17. So that gave me the win there. And in this case, it'll be the £2 bet that I'm going to do. Now this is looking a bit spread out, and also the table's frozen, so what I'm doing is resetting the table now, just so we can get that video feed working again. And as you can see, it went to 27, so it was a good job we didn't bet on that one. That went to 27. So this one's looking closer together. Now bear in mind, if we did do the initial bet where I could have overlapped by one either side, we would have actually completed the sequence, because that last one that I won would have been the £2 bet, and I would have been totally quids in and I would have left. However, I didn't make the bet, and hindsight is a bitch. So I'm putting the bet on this time, which was the £2 per number. And bear in mind, the first bet we made technically £1. Second, we made £1, and you can see that I was a bit unlucky. It went to, it was in the area, but it kind of pinged back. So unfortunately, we got 2 wins in out of our 3-win streak. So we have to start again now. And as you can see, the numbers are fairly spread out again. So this isn't really interesting to put a bet on for me. It's a bit risky. So I hold fire. Now, as you can see, my balance hasn't dropped insanely. And, that's because obviously we're doing the reverse martingale. So I know it looks bad when you're doing a 72 unit bet and you lose it, but you've won the first one, then you've won the second one. So really, you're only losing that initial bet. In fact, it's a little bit less. It would be £3 less. So I would have only lost 5 units on that third bet there. So these ones they're close enough, but it's still not close for my liking. So I'm kind of giving this one a miss as well. Just prefer to see it when they're really nice and grouped together. As mentioned, this is a completely new strategy. I always test out new strategies with real money just because it and you can see that one would have been perfect there on number 15. So I would have got that one, but again, it's not really risky. This looks a bit better for my liking. 10, 11 and 21. So as I'm saying, I do like testing out these strategies with real money. I think anyone can test a strategy with play money or whatever and think, oh, this is going to work, or it isn't. But you don't really know until you test it with real money, and then you still don't know until you test it consistently to see if it wins repeatedly. And that's what I like to do. Now, some of the strategies I think up will definitely be losers. Other ones will definitely be winners. And I think the best one that I've come up with so far is that the one with the dealer tracker, tracking the last 3 numbers and doing the neighbours bet on that, and then either using a progression or flat betting. But I tend to go for the progression when it comes to that type of betting. But this is really interesting to me as well, doing a reverse martingale, so doubling your bet when you win. Because if you can do that 3 times, I mean, you could go risky and go 4 times, and if you do that, you're just winning more and more each time, but you're only really risking your initial bet, and to me that's quite good. I've had times where I've been on a table and I've not missed maybe 15 times in a row. I've just won each go. I mean, Sam's video as well, where he had that big long streak. If he did a reverse martingale where he's doubling up each time, he would have been laughing. He would have been in the thousands quite easy. But it's always the way, isn't it? You don't know if you're going to get a big long streak or not. Now, this particular strategy that I've done, I've noticed I've had quite a few long streaks, especially 3 wins in a row. That's pretty basic. So yeah, I'm keen to see if this works. Obviously, we've had a few attempts and we haven't got there just yet. In fact, I'm going to skip through because wait until the table lines up a little bit. So you can see here it's okay. It's on 33 and we've had the double there on 35. So I've put the bet on. Of course, I've gone back to the initial bet of 50 pence per number. So we need to hit this one, the next one, and the one after. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Now, of course, you could just do a 2-win streak, but I think the 3-win streak really makes it bounce up quicker. So that one landed on 35 again. So let me just pause that. Now 35, as you can see, has already been a double up. Now that means where the dealer spun the ball from to where it landed on the table, the distance from where she spun to where it landed has landed on that area, which happens to be 35 in this case, twice. And now it's just landed on there again. So that means out of the last 3 spins, where she spun the ball from, in this case it was number 2, which was just there. The distance from number 2 to number 35 is, I can't see there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers anti-clockwise. Now out of the last 3 spins, where she spun from to where it landed was 9 away from where she spun from to where it landed, 3 times in a row on that particular direction. So you'll see after this next spin, because obviously it's going to swap direction, you'll see that one number is just going to be a really dark shade of blue, and that means it's landed on 3 times in a row. So we're doubling up now. We're doing the £1 unit, or 1 unit per number bet this time. And obviously we're hoping that lands in that general area there. So basically from 26 around to, I believe, 24, something like that. And you can see a bit unlucky, it went to number 19. Now when we submit this, so obviously we've got to start that again. You can see number 7 right there. That means that area has been landed on 3 times in a row, which is really good if you're just betting on the single numbers. Now if we were just betting on the 3 highlighted numbers, what I typically do, as you saw in a previous video of mine, I bet the number of units based on the highlighted numbers. So on the last one, where it was highlighted twice, I would have put 2 units on that one number, and obviously that would have come in. Now, in this case, I would put 3 units on number 7, but of course I know that it didn't come in on this case, but of course it's such a small area. You saw it landed around the around 7, but it did catapult off. That went to number 16. So again, we've lost that one in a row. Now my balance is £212. So you can see I've lost a few, quite a few now. I've had a few double ups, where I've hit the £1 bet. But yeah, I haven't hit the 3 win streak yet. But my balance hasn't gone crazy, like low. If you're doing the opposite progression, where you're doubling on each loss, you can get into a lot of trouble. And we all know the Martingale system is pretty bad, but the reverse Martingale, there is a place for it, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. So I went to 31, so that's given us the first win. So now we have to do 2 units per number. So this is our second bet of the phase there. So we're putting it on number 36, and that will be £1 per number. So again, you can see 23, that's obviously where that triple up was. But now it's obviously a double up because the number after was number, that distance, it wasn't number 25. It was that distance away from where it landed previously. And that's why I love tracking last 3 numbers. And you see that went to number 6. So yeah, it's kind of right in between those. So again, we've won the second bet in a row. Now all we're doing is number 3. And if we can make that, that means we will be in profit for sure. And it won't be that much profit though, because we have lost, I think, 6 in a row. But this would obviously give us a 72 unit win. £72, sorry. And as you can see, we missed. So we went to number 9. So that, again, I think that's the 3rd time in a row we've got to 2 wins in a row, but we didn't hit that 3 win streak, which is really what we're after. And yeah, it's quite a difficult one. It's an interesting concept because you're not risking a huge amount on the bets, but the rewards can be good. You just have to get that 3 win streak. And of course, you've got the chance of doing the Martingale system as well if it does go past that 8 attempts mark. So this is either my 5th or 6th, 7th attempt. That went to number 30, so that gave us the win there. So we've won the first phase. Now we need to win the second. So we're going up there to cover 28, 16 and 24, that big section up the top there. There is a nice big gap between them, but it's the way it goes. So we're doing £1 per number. So really anywhere past number 3, I think we've got 35 covered and around, and it was bouncing around, having fun. It went to number 18, which was perfect. That's just up there, and that gives us a 36. So we've won the second bet out of the 3-win streak. So now these ones aren't looking too bad. They're nice and grouped together here. So now I'm doing the 2 units per number. And what does kind of break your heart a little bit is that first one where I didn't make the bet. If I did that right at the beginning, I would have won. I would have got the 3-win streak right really early. So that would have been a really nice profit. Of course, as I said, each time you do win and then win another one, you are accumulating a little bit of profit each time. In this case, you see it went to number 5, so that did give us our 3-win streak. So we finally got it, and that put my balance up to £273.60. So not a huge amount of profit, but it's still profit. I think it's about £15, but it could have been a lot better had we hit that first one, if I grew a pair and actually put the bet on. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Really interesting take on using the reverse martingale system with this type of strategy. Now, as you can see, the dealer tracker to me is one of my favorite tools from Roulette calculators. I know a lot of people are checking out the area key and they're enjoying that a lot more. Some people prefer the area key. For me, I do prefer the dealer tracker because it's live dealer results, and we're only looking at the last 3 results as well, which kind of does make a big difference in my opinion. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you join roulettecalculators.com if you're not currently a member. You can set yourself up a free account and check out the social network and what it's all about. Also, if you still haven't done it, subscribe to this channel. We post new videos and new content strategies all of the time, so make sure you check that out, and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Just check out all of our other videos. With that said, take care guys, and as I always say, please bet smart.